Part 1. Chapter 1. It is a grey morning in the town of Vryburg. Little Mikey plays beneath an old oak tree, its branches bare in winter's cold. He has a small plastic motorcycle with rider between his fingers, painted yellow but for a blue helmet, and he somersaults it between the gnarled roots. "Mikey Stansfield is up next," he mutters, charging the bike down an imaginary hill. "He will attempt the triple," he whisper roars, a stadium 100,000 strong blaring in his mind. "This is the moment, ladies and gents. If he lands this, it will be a new world record." Above him, heavy white sheets are draped on lines between the branches, hoping for a touch of warmth. Little Mikey careers the bike around a bend in the route, preparing the little rider, a bright spotlight following the figure in his mind, a tower of earth rising in a ramp in front of it. "He is about to do it." He holds the little rider tight, ready for the moment of release. "Now!" He launches the tiny bike into the air. It spins between his fingers. "1," he whispers, and the rider turns. "2," and he spins again, the crowd hushed. "A triple!" The little boy whoops, landing the bike on the edge of a damp sheet above him and tracking it around in a victory lap, a trail of mud behind it. "He's done it! Mikey Stansfield is the king of the world!" The rider leaps from the sheet, the boy pirouetting with it, somersaulting the bike onto the next as they fly. He peers at the head of the figure between his fingers, mesmerized by his bravery. "Mr. Stansfield will now perform the greatest feat," he whispers into the rider's ear. "He will make the ultimate jump, leaving the very atmosphere. If he does this, no rider in history can touch him." The rider nods, and together they take up their station on the edge of the world, looking out at the universe, the earth blue and massive between them. He is about to go, to sail off into the unknown. "Mikey!" The voice is a shout, causing cold reality to rush back. "Mama, you've dirtied my sheets!" Smack! His bum stings as he skits away from her open hand. "Come here!" Little Mikey stops, knowing that he can't disobey that voice. "Mama, come here!" He turns. She is wearing a white cotton dress, her body hot from work, and her dark curls dancing about her face. "Come and stand here." He does so, picking his way carefully through the mud, knowing what is coming. He looks up at her, she not so much taller than him anymore. Her beautiful eyes are boiling with rage. "What did I tell you?" "Hang the sheets, Mama." "What did you do?" Her hand clasps his shoulder, her work-hardened fingers digging in. "This took me hours, Mikey." She shakes him, and he closes his eyes. "You've got mud all over my sheets." He's waiting, his body tensed for the blow, but it doesn't come. He opens his eyes. His mama is looking straight into him. "Mikey, you've got to concentrate." Tears are welling in her eyes, and his heart freezes. "I can't be late like this." "I'm sorry, Mama. I was playing," and she shakes her head and turns and reaches out to take down the muddy sheets and bundles them, and then she walks toward a cabin standing wooden upon green fields. "Come on!" He is about to run after her. "And leave that toy. I don't want to see any more playing today." "Yes, Mama," he calls, watching her receding. He waits a moment, and then bends to snatch the yellow man up from the ground. The inside of his mama's cabin churns with sound, and the air steams. 4 washing machines are stacked one on top of the other on the far side of the room, and beside them are 2 big dryers. All of them are spinning, sending their banging and their hot breath into the little home. Little Mikey takes a step towards them, wanting to put his hands on their hot sides and listen to the world spinning inside. "Oh, look at you!" She has dropped the dirty sheets beside the basin and has spied his dirty knees. Quickly she yanks off his yellow trousers, tossing them onto the sheets, and pulls a fresh pair down from their shared cupboard. How'd you get so dirty? I was jumping, Mama. She pushes him to the counter and helps him up onto it. I don't have time today, Mikey. I did a triple. Wear your shoes. She looks around and spies them by the door. She pushes a cloth into the warm suds in the basin and begins to sponge his muddy feet. I'm too busy today, Mikey. He reaches out, pushing his fingers into her curls. I have something you must do for me. She dries his feet and slips fresh, hot socks onto each foot. What is it? He strokes her ears, letting their sides brush against his palms. I need you to take an envelope to Mr. Langeveld. He must get it by 4. But what about the show? Mikey, please. Mama, you promised. She slips a clean white tennis shoe onto his right foot and then the other. She begins to twist the laces, not looking up at him. He must get it by 4. No playing and no visiting. Straight up the hill and straight back. She looks up at him sharply. Mikey, are you listening to me? He nods, visions of the show swirling through his mind. Straight there and straight back. Promise me. But the trick riders are going to be there. She looks down to the laces, already tight. We can go tomorrow. They won't be there tomorrow, only today. Well, that's the best I can do. You always say that, and I always mean it too. She takes both shoed feet in her hands, squeezing them. Just, please help me, okay? Okay, Mama, he whispers, running his fingers through her curls. She raises her beautiful eyes to him, dark-ringed from work, and her smile lightens them. Her smile brings summer with it. I'm going to try my best. If you get back early and I'm finished, then we can go and see. Okay, the little boy nods. Mikey, okay. She runs her fingers up to his ankles, tickling them. Okay, Mama, he laughs, his mouth wide open and his eyes shining. Straight there and straight back? Yes, Mama. My brave boy. She puts her arms around him, sliding him off the counter, then kisses him on the cheek. She slips a folded brown envelope into his pocket. He turns to the door and does not see the fresh tears that well into her eyes. Straight there and straight back. Yes, Mama. He reaches for the handle and steps out. It seems the air has grown colder, despite the clear sky. A breeze is blowing across the farmlands, driving all memory of heat before it. He closes the door gently and looks at the cold vista spread before him. Set upon a hill, the town of Vryburg rises up. The way there begins with the path that leads straight from his mama's door, winding across Mr. Langeveld's open farmland made soft by rain, through the smear of labourers' huts strung east and west along the dark highway, jinking left and right through the settlement, crossing the highway and going up, through the smaller houses of the factory workers and machinists, and higher, among the bright houses of the clerks and teachers and shopkeepers, up and up to the very top, where men like Mr. Langeveld live. Well, Mr. Stansfield, says little Mikey, opening his hand to reveal the yellow rider, his mouth below his silver visor drawn in an ever-determined line. We have a difficult mission ahead of us today. We've got to deliver Mama's envelope and see you jump. And so little Mikey steps off of the top step of his mama's cabin, and then he runs, his feet flying over the wintry grass, his white shoes already covered in mud. Instead of following the path straight on across the highway and all the way up the distant hill, like his mama said, he veers away, leaving the main path for another that tracks away through the grass, heading for the distant bustle of Main Street, the center of Vryburg town itself. Inside the cabin a song begins. It is the song his mama sings when the hours merge with the churning of the machines, and she too slips off on an adventure while the soap suds hold the world. The song is sweet, a memory of a different time and place.